शत्रुबुद्धि विनाशाय दीपकाय नमोस्तुते।
I am very fond of. This is the case study. What is this book? Why he has gone through the, just 3,000 successful people all across the life, and successful people, their habits, their outlook, their thinking skills and something. So what is the first? Be proactive. Respond to the basic principles and desired result. These are the three principles are known as the private victory, and that is the private victory. So use proactive language, that is the proactive, and focus on circle of influence. So this is not the time to explain each and every, but we have to present the topic only and simply. The second, habit to begin with the end in mind. So define outcome before you act, and think twice before beginning any assignment or action or whatever it is. Use our own imagination, self-awareness and foresightness to set out destination, because always you think about that, just like an architect or anything you are going to, you are running the goal, always you are looking the goal side first, and that's why you are not distracted. Always you are focused on goal. So begin with the end in mind. Habit third, the put first thing first. Focus on highest priorities. You have to select the priorities, highest priorities. Then eliminate the unimportant thing. There are important and unimportant things. So always think about that, that this, unimportant things should go. So you have to select, put first thing first, and eliminate unimportant, and plan meticulously, because the management people are there in the commerce department. Amitabh Samanto sir is there, and Saroj Ranjan, he might be knowing about that, and I am teaching the commerce also in 12 class, sometimes business study, and that is the planning is the most important part. So meticulous planning is the needed in the third. Stay tuned in the moment of choice. You have to master of your destiny. You have to master of your decision. You cannot be compelled with others and outside decision. Then public victory, free victory, private victory. You have to win, and if you are winning yourself, and that is the private level, so definitely you are going to conquer the world. The first you win this private victory. Then come to the habit for think win-win, and that is the cases. Have a positive mentality, balance courage and wisdom, focus on healthy interaction, involvement and cooperation, and consider the people's wins as well. Just recently, and that is the one should, life is not like the winning the games always, and one should feel victory in the defeat of others. We should not think about that. And the case study few months back, that was the online or offline examination, the students, we discussed about that. They are not focused. We discussed, go for counseling, and that I gave the topic think win-win. ये जीवन है, ये फुटबॉल और क्रिकेट और बास्केटबॉल का मैच नहीं है कि एक को हारने के लिए एक को जीतना पड़े. वन शुड फील विक्ट्री इन द डिफीट ऑफ अदर्स. ये नहीं हो सकता. स्टूडेंट्स अगर हारते हैं तो प्रिंसिपल और टीचर्स भी हारता है. अगर प्रिंसिपल हारता है, टीचर्स हारते हैं, तो बच्चे भी हारते हैं. सो वी हैव टू बी बोथ. वी मस्ट विन. Principals, teachers, school management, we have to think win-win. Our children, I gave the case study, and they appreciated and they are ready to go for offline exams. And I am very fond of you, my dear students. You are sitting, and almost all students, and I am proud of you. You have given your consent. We are ready, sir. After convincing, the think win-win is there. Though government did not clear it, and they make it only online, but this process, that was the takeaway from the case study. Then seek first to understand, then to be understood. Practice emphatic listening. English language, might be teachers might be knowing about that. First you understand, first you listen others perspective, then you will be better persons to think about that. Then respectfully seek to be understood, then you will be better persons to understand the thing. So seek first to understand, then to be understood. Then habit 6, synergy. So might be teachers might be knowing about that. First you understand, first you listen others perspective, then you will be better persons to think about that. Then respectfully seek to be understood, then you will be better persons to understand the thing. So seek first to understand, then to be understood. Then habit 6, synergy. So give respect value of difference. That is the critical thinking. Always don't think about yourself, I'm right and he is right. No. So synergy means teamwork, collaboration, talmail. That is something. Try to find out the best alternative, that is known as the third alternative. Best alternative kya ho sakta hai? That is that just you find out the reasons, and that synergy will create a great thing. So next, habit number 7, sharpen the saw. It is my most important part. Always I'm used to tell to my teachers, always update your knowledge, upgrade your knowledge, sharpen the saw, Kaizen, K-A-I-Z-E-N, and be innovative always, otherwise you are not going to survive. I'm quoting Who Moved by Cheese. Why Who Moved by Cheese? The 4 funny characters, him and her, and Sniff and Scurry. So why they are failed to understand about that? Preserve the enhancement and greatness asset that every human being has, and provide resources to physical, mental, and ability. So what are the takeaway from the book? What are the message and theme of the book? You should use ability to choose how we will respond to a stimulus or situation. We should place ourselves in a situation or test the principle of proactivity by replacing the language of reactivity and with proactive words, right? We should visualize the details of day-to-day work and make them plan accordingly. The key to success is to prioritize. First, prioritize our day-to-day work and make a plan. Our schedule, prioritize our schedule day-to-day basis. Rather, we should make reschedule or schedule as per our priorities. To go for think win-win, we must be cooperative, interactive, and we need to hold steadfast our true feelings, values, and commitment. Because Warren Buffett से एक बार पूछा गया, he used to tell about that कि what is your priorities, what is you are going to select the persons, what thing you require. So he said about that कि I require the academics, intelligent, energy, experience, and integrity. But right, but if they are less in 5th, that is integrity, and more 100%, 200% in first, academics, intelligence, experience, energetic. So I will select the employee. 5th one. And if they are less in 5th and they are, the more in intelligent, academics, knowledge, experience, energetic, so I will throw them out. So values, integrity, ethical standard. I'm DAV and I'm working in DAV. There is a great difference. I'm DAVians. I'm Honda man. Like that. If you go through the Japanese concept of book, Ikigai, or so many books of Brent Tracy, goal. So this is the feeling of bondness, integrity, ethical value. That is the matter. So takeaway of this book is Stephen Covey. These habits are marvelous. Now you have to build the skill of emphatic listening, and on the basis of character that inspire openness and trust. And the last 2, we should give value to difference of opinion. Always we are, just like, convincing the person with our view. No, we should give value to difference of opinion and thought of different people, because we must realize that all the people see the world and not at the world is rather than are. And last, renewal is the process of empowerment. Always I'm telling you, sharpen the saw. Renewal is the process of power, and to move along the path of growth and change, the continuous improvement and development. This is the masterpiece. I have read this book 3 times. Still I find just I have to go and enjoy this pandemic period. 3 times I have gone through, and every day just I got inspirations with the line by line, our case study of the woodcutter, case study of the goose, case study. There are so many attitudes, behavioral questions, circle of influence questions, but without taking much time, because our learned judges are there, and I express my sincere thanks to all of them. I welcome wholeheartedly to most dynamic chief guest of the today's sessions, our Honorable ARO Madam. Today, I was waiting, Madam, at 9. I rang you, but okay, you are busy because you are managing the whole June. I'm managing a simple one school. I can understand, but thank you very much, Madam. And I would like to request you, please give us blessings before starting the function. Then they will start, and judges will tell after the function when the program is over. They will give their 3 to 4 minutes. They will give their views also. But first, they should go through the program. Once again, Urmila Madam, our most dynamic guardian of these zones, and ARO Madam. So please bless us. If you are here, Mr. Bharat, Madam, please
am I
bless
audible?
us.
Am I audible?
Audible, Madam. Audible, Madam.
Achha. The over-energetic and enthusiastic Ashokji, the learned judges of the review of today's book, Mr. Mishra is there, and I can see Krishna is also there.
Yes,
and the faculty members of, so you are back to your old place today, huh?
Yeah, I'm very happy, very happy.
Yes, I can understand you have sowed the seed, so you will really like to see how it has come out.
Yeah,
I think Kiran is also there, and the learned judges, my colleagues, and the best stakeholders, my children, students, who have joined here. Rather, they are here, the participants, after going through the book. I just went through the gist, and I really feel, Ashokji, that I should have read the book not twice or thrice, more than that, because there are so many instances in the book which we are dealing every day with our students, the parents, and with our teachers. I will just like to brief, because I will not take much time. This book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effectively People by Stephen R. Covey, is a modern classic in the self-improvement genres. Despite being published, this book has been published 30 years back. Those 7 habits are still relevant for those people who are looking for solid personal development advancement. These 7 habits which are enlisted here, the whole book, it is just a gist which I'll be briefing. They are a step-by-step model that empower you make decisions and take action rather than reacting to events around you. You will be fueling your energy. It's better to come with proper action. It has strong links to emotional intelligence and emphasizes the importance of self-awareness. This is the main life skill before successful engagement with others. The purpose of the book, I feel, is to help all of us lead our life in a very effective way. The books represent a proven process, a tested process of personal and interpersonal growth. Again, the life skills that can have an immediate and lasting impact and ability to control one's environment. My learned gathering, one can replace the old destructive habits. Man is adaptive to everything. So we can get rid of those destructive habits with new habits of effectiveness, happiness, and the relationship based on mutual trust. The 7 habits which has been described is nothing but the life skills which the CBSE is conducting so many workshops these days.
Yes.
In this book, they are based on the natural laws, and if we adapt them, we'll get the maximum long-term, it's not short-term gain, it's a long-term beneficial result for all of us. In a nutshell, the book suggests, there were 7 points which already Ashokji had thrown light, so I will not touch those things. Just I'll conclude by a few lines. It learns how to take initiative. We learn how to balance our priorities. We have so many agendas, and then we are not able to prioritize. We should have that skill to prioritize. Improve interpersonal communication. There is a very good example in the book. A couple was traveling with a small child, and the boy was vomiting and was having diarrhea, and his situation was not controlled. The gentleman stopped the car near a medical shop. Yes. And he asked generally, many people, we go to medical shop when we tell them the problem and they give us the medicine, because you see, these days, the certificate for medical shop is given to those who are already, they have done pharmacy. So the gentleman at the medical store said, just hold on, I'll connect you to the doctor. That will be much better. Then the lady took the phone and she detailed everything to the doctor. Doctor gave the list of medicines to the medical shop people. What medicine is to be given. Then it struck the gentleman. He said, ma'am, did you tell the age of the baby that he's only 2 months old? She said, I think so. I told everything. Then he said, no, give another ring to the doctor. And then another ring was given to the doctor and the list of medicines changed. A small boy cannot absorb all the medicines, 500 grams and 650 grams, which an adult can have. So the life of the child was saved because of the presence of mind and the communication skill. The lack of communication skill of the lady would have finished with the child. But the presence of mind and the communication skill of the gentleman saved the child. So my friends, I would conclude with few lines. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you look at the things.
Yes.
You should focus on improving your personal attitude and behavior to be successful in your life. And that the nutshell is, you should, after being energetic and dynamic, you should also be a good listener.
Yes.
And Ashokji, my small suggestion, these 7 skills, Anna,
yes.
You see, one day full CBSE is taking to conduct the workshop on these skills. So I think the book review should have dealt topic-wise. It would have been much better, but whatever you have arranged is praiseworthy. And I hope all other, when you arrange English workshop, why don't you give a task to all the English teachers and the Hindi teachers that once a month they should have a book review.
Yes,
they are not doing it like you.
Yes.
Participants, I'm again telling you that after 7 minutes, you'll be receiving a bell that will sign your end of your speech, and you should wind it up as soon as possible. Moving on to our next participant, Shamiparna Chatterjee. And after Shamiparna, we will have Reni Kaushal. Reni, you also be ready. And right now, it's the turn for Shamiparna Chatterjee. Shamiparna.
Good morning, ma'am. Am I visible and audible?
Yes, now you're visible as well as audible. You can start. Your time starts.
Thank you so much. Good morning to one and all present over here. Each and every one of us present over here is going behind success. We all are running behind success. But still, some people in this world achieve much more success than the others. I'm sorry, ma'am. I faced a network issue. Sorry. Some people achieve much more success than the others. Then what are those little things that make one achieve a little more than the others? We are all putting labels, right? But still, we are lacking on some issues. And these are the things that Stephen R. Covey brings up in front of us to ensure we achieve the actual destination of success. The first question that I would like to focus on is, why is this book worth reading? I personally found this book to be not only some other book that I read, it was a journey. It took me probably a month to read this, but when I completed it, I found this to be one of the best journeys of my life. Previously, I was super stressed with everything that was going on, but now I know what actually success is. As my principal sir previously mentioned as well, that life is not a cricket or a football match that one has to lose and the other has to win. In fact, today as well, some might lose and some might win this competition, but the end result is everybody over here is learning, and that is what I've learned from this book. Think win-win. Come what may, you have to understand that this world is not a place of just a war. We have to ensure that the person in front of me wins and I win as well along with him. And this is a book that doesn't only focus on your growth. This actually focuses on your development, that too from 4 angles: physical, mental, spiritual, and social. And these are the 4 qualities that make us a human being at the end. This also teaches us how to shift our paradigm from just working and spending our time without living our life into a paradigm where we understand that happiness and success can actually go together. This is a book that converts the dreams into goals. There's a real difference between dream and goal. Dream is something we just think of doing, but goal becomes a destination. And I can guarantee once we read this book, each and every little dream that we have will definitely turn into a goal, and we will definitely reach that destination one day or the other. The next question is that how can these be implemented in our lives? This can simply be implemented by realizing your own importance. Each and every soul is worth living. And that is why we have to understand that if these habits are implemented, we can achieve in life. Because all of us are trying to achieve without giving the actual effort. We might be laboring, but the efforts are really missing. And that is why we have to understand that we are important. Each and every action we take up, each and every step we take in life definitely marks those little pebbles on our path to success. This book also helps you in changing your attitude. And ladies and gentlemen, attitude is everything in your life. The way you have your attitude towards the problems, your obstacles of life, in fact, makes you ensure that come what may, you never lose. You keep fighting. There is nothing called failure in life. It's just success, success, and success. And that is what I am learning from this book. This is a book that has taught me that every day is a day of improvement. Since we have never seen a date repeat itself, right? So why do we repeat the same us every single day? We have to improve every day, because we should always know that there is no best that cannot be better. And this is how I quote our principal sir again. So we have to every day keep laboring hard, because every day is a new day and every day seeks for new efforts. And another thing that I learned from this book was synergizing. As Aristotle, one of the great philosophers, mentioned that the whole is greater than a part. So if we put our efforts from all angles, from different souls, from different minds, from different brains, so definitely it will lead to a greater success and a greater development. And that is what, in fact, our nation needs today. We have to understand this synergizing thing, and we have to implement this, because the future of our country lies in the hands of our teenagers. And imagine if all the teenagers of India are putting the same labor for the success of the country, there is literally nothing that can stop our country from being the most developed country of the world. And it will also make this world a better place to live in, because we are all in this world as well. We are all trying to just race, and this hustle, it keeps on continuing till our last breath. So why to go along with this hustle? Why not we ensure that we put a common effort, put a common labor, and see how happiness is when you win, the people along with you win, the world along with you wins. That is what humanity is. That is what humanity seeks for. And this is what we have to ensure in our lives, synergy and think win-win. Another thing that I would like to focus, especially in this 2021, is that this has become a generation that either is speaking or is preparing to speak. We are never listening. We are never hearing. We are never ready to pay attention, because our ultimate goal is the person in front of me should understand what I am saying and should agree, in fact, agree to what I am saying. And this is not what the world should look like. As Stephen R. Covey mentions, that understand and then seek to be understood. This is what we have to understand again, that if we are not ready to understand the person's views in front of me, how can something productive come out of the conversation? And if there is no proper conversation or discussion, there is no productivity in be it any field of work. The productivity decreases if we are not ready to go along with each other. And that is why we have to first understand and then seek to be understood. Coming to my takeaways from this book, what I learned are not only these 7 habits. I learned the principle of ownership. When I say ownership, most of you might be thinking that I'm speaking of the ownership of this world, of the materialistic thing, or in fact, our relations as well. But ownership only comes into being when you own yourself. I'm speaking of owning yourself, taking responsibility of each and every action you take up, each and every step you take up in life. Because when you achieve, it's your achievement, it's your efforts. So from the very first day, we have to ensure that we own ourselves, because if we don't, we often end up blaming that no, the situation was not right, my atmosphere was not correct, the people around me were not correct. We are never ready to blame ourselves, and this is what has to change. And once this changes, we understand that this is our soul, this is our body, and each and every step we take is ours. And that is why, even in fact, when we achieve, when we walk on the path of achievement, we will understand that this is our achievement. And only then can we get the actual happiness along with being successful. This book has helped me know myself inside out. It has made me a better person, and that is why I would like to suggest that this book is definitely worth reading. And the few hours every day that you will spend reading this book will get you the best journey of your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Amiparna. Now coming to our 4th participant, we have Reni.
Yes, ma'am. Am I perfectly audible and visible?
Yes, you're visible as well as audible. You can start now.
Thank you. Good morning to the house at large. I'm Sweksha Mishra, and today I'm very delighted to review such a great book as The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So, starting with a very quick 15-word short summary of the book. Creative, research-based knowledge, tried and tested, or let's say a journey from dependence to independence to interdependence. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask me, why do I find this book worth reading? So I'll say that these are not merely 7 habits. These are the 7 golden rules that is there for us to follow. And giving a very quick review about the 7 habits, number 1 says, be proactive and not reactive. Being proactive means to make your own decisions, to be responsible for ourselves. Today, we cannot always blame and always give excuses to others why we are not able to do this and that. We have to be responsible for ourselves. And that is what Covey says and calls as responsible, being responsible. And how do we do it? We do it by the very circle of concern, circle of control, and circle of influence. There are some things that we can control in our lives. There are some things that concerns us. And there are some things that we cannot control. So being proactive does not mean running after things that we cannot control, but the things which isn't under our control. And that is what is known as the principle of personal leadership. That is how the first habit goes. The second is begin with the end in mind. It defines focus. Covey says that with our eyes on the goal, there is no room for distraction. And that is how we win the second habit. Third one says, put first things first. Watch your decisions, watch your priorities, see what you're doing. Fourth says think win-win. Let's say in a fight between two people, or let's say in a competition between two people, we seek solution which makes a win and a win. Everybody wins. Nobody has to lose in order for you to flourish. Nobody has to lose in order for you to win. Either we flourish together, or we contract together, or we lose together. That is how it goes. And that is very closely related to the very idea of synergy, how we work together. The fifth one is a very deeply connected one, which says seek first to understand and then to be understood. Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, scientifically, it is proven that the deepest concern of a human soul is to be understood. And that is how we do it with the very idea of empathetic listening. And what does it mean? It means when you're listening to somebody, you should not only listen to the person with your brain, but with your eyes and your heart to understand them. And that is what empathy means. And that is what empathetic listening is. The sixth one is to synergize. A mutual collaboration, a mutual cooperation of working together, a mutual cooperation of the very foundation of integrity. And that is how we all work together in order to win together. Next comes sharpen the saw. I must say, a very clever, giving a final touch to all the 6 habits is sharpen the saw. Sharpen yourself before doing something. Sharpen yourself, sharpen your skills. That is what it means to sharpen the saw. And if you want, and by these 7 golden rules or the 7 habits, if you want to attach yourselves to a mission, a purpose, a calling, no matter what age, no matter what time zone, no matter what you want to do, when you want to do, it's universally applicable. It's always relevant. And that is why I find this book very worth reading. And that is when we all realize that these things has to be accumulated, has to be applied to ourselves. And if you ask me, why do we need this book? Then the very answer is, the thing is, the world in which we are living. Standing in the 21st century, we cannot afford to be non-effective. In fact, we badly need to be highly effective in today's world. And that is how the book is very relevant. And that is what my principal says. Be proactive, take the lead. It's all there for you. And that is how we win. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the best thing about the book. With every word you read, with every single page, there is this new ideas, there is this new world of perspectives, and that is where we win. And the next thing is, as I'll talk about the features of the book, which is very interesting along with my personal experiences. Very interestingly, the book not only tells you what to focus on, but also tells you why to focus what you're focusing. And very amazingly, the outline of reason that the book provides can never be denied because it's so naturally put and so relevant and so tried and tested. The second thing is the best thing about the book, that when you're reading between the lines, you feel like you develop this deep connection with the book, that there is this direct flow of positivity right from the book to your subconsciousness. And with every word you read, you feel like it's taking you to a level higher, another level, and higher and higher. That is where we win, ladies and gentlemen. Again, is the next feature of compelling questions. It asks you something so compelling as, what do you think about yourself at your own grave, at your own funeral? How do you want the society to look at you? How do you want to be remembered? And that is when it compels you to begin with the end in mind, to start putting the first things first, to start doing the things you say that you want to do. And that is when it becomes really worth reading, and you start applying these in your subconsciousness. And it asks you some very compelling questions also, like, what is your bank deposit balance? Doesn't matter. It asks you, do you have those 6 major deposits at your emotional bank balance? That is the compelling question that you need to address, that it's not about materialistic things, but your own self-productivity, but your own selfless. Because everybody out here can be clever. We all here can be intelligent. But what we need to focus today in the 21st century is to be a little more kind, to make this humanful world more humane. And it has got some very simple tools like the paradigms. It's a Greek letter which means patterns. Patterns of how we execute something. Patterns something very simple, but something very compelling, like having a personal mission statement, or something like having the six major deposits. And that is what I believe has made the book worth reading, worth loving, and worth sharing, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the highly recommended book. And this is the very book which is very deeply attached, not to myself, but to everybody else.
I would like to ask Sakshi Shagun to be prepared. Sakshi, after Nikhil, it will be your turn. So you also better be prepared. And now Nikhil.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Nikhil, you're audible as well as visible. You can start.
Hello, everyone. A very warm good morning to you all. My name is Nikhil Kumar Shahu. And on this day, I'm gonna give a review of truly life-changing masterpiece, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. So this unforgettable book review will be revolving around 3 major aspects, which are why, what, and how. And at the ending, I'll be giving a magnificent possible outcomes. So ladies and gentlemen, stick to your seat and please help me to start my book review. Starting with why. Why this book is important for us. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is indeed $1 million important in both reading board. As the name suggests, the book will help you to lead your life in a truly effective way. The book represents a proven and practical process of personal as well as the interpersonal growth that can have immediate and long-lasting impact. Importance of book seems more crucial when you have a glance over the today's generation around us. They are just scattered in almost every aspects of life. They are unorganized. Their time management is buried on the ground. Let me give my example. When I was in class 11th standard, the syllabus of class standard PCM is much bigger and vaster than 10th. I was unorganized. I just used to scroll Instagram whole day. I took a complete day just to learn a single topic. And there's the third habit helps. Put first thing first. Covey suggests us to make a time management matrix of 2 by 2 of 2 rows, urgent, not urgent, and 2 column, important and not important. Something like that. Let me show you. Yes, something like that. So we will have 4 quadrants. First is urgent and important. Second is not urgent and important. Third is urgent, not important, and not urgent and not important. Allot your whole day work in these 4 quadrants and do accordingly. I followed the same method of time management and I am jubilant to say that it worked. Now tell me, teachers, is it anything more significant than this book, which had changed my method of learning drastically? Absolutely not. This book is very crucial for the success seeker like me, you, and our generation. We need it. Moving towards what? What is the message, theme of this book? As the title indicates, effectiveness is the dominant theme of this book. But what exactly the author mean by being effective? It simply says effectiveness is the capability of producing a desired result or the ability to produce a desired outcome. When something is deemed effective, it means it has an intended or expected outcomes, produces a deep, vivid impression. When author says effectiveness, it means effective in every aspect of life. I read the book twice and I recapture the fields where we have to be effective. First, taking control of your life, making not better decisions, but smarter and strategic ones, managing and improving your relationship with students, with yourself, with your employees. Overcome the bad habits and build good ones. Boost your productivity, find a healthy work-life balance, be your happiest and bestest self. This is a self-improvement book. It is written on the Covey's belief that the way we see the world is entirely based on our perceptions. In order to change a given situation, we must be able to change ourselves. And in order to change ourselves, we must be able to change our perceptions. Isn't it? This is the universal fact that that significant problem we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking. We have to think a level greater to resolve it. The same thing has been explained in the book by a term paradigms. Paradigms are powerful because they create the lens through which we see the world. If you want a small change in life, work on your attitude. But if you want a big and primary changes, work on your paradigms. Turning to very important how. How can we implement the things we learn from this book in our daily life? So when I look people around me, I look them as a learner, a person who is redefining his future. As we have already said, the definition of effectiveness, that it first needs to have a goal outside our comfort zone. And as I believe, to define a goal, you need a very, very clear vision. When I heard a vision, then I came across a story about an experiment of zebras. Story of zebras. I'll take 2 minutes. Uh, of the experiment of zebras. This story, because if you understand this story, you understand absolutely everything about goal success in this book. So it's worth 2 minutes. So you know the zebras are hypothetically are camouflaged. That's what everyone says. But come on, really, lions are camouflaged. They are same color as the grass. Zebras and black and white. You can see one of them a mile away, right? But there isn't a zebra. There's a herd of zebras. So the zebras is actually camouflaged against the herd. Now that's the something about the thinker. So the stripes of zebras are zebra jargon. Zebra jargon. That's the good way of thinking about it. So the biologist go out and study zebras. He's a zebras biologist. They're gonna watch a zebra. They have to go and watch a zebra to figure out what it's up to. And so they watch the zebras and take notes. And when they look up, they think, oh my God, which collection of black and white stripes was that zebra? Because the stripes do not outline the zebras and they camouflage the zebra perfectly against the herd. So the biologists think of solution and a colored patch of red color on their leg, so that they can track the zebra whole day. Guess what happened to the zebras? The lions eat it. Yeah, right. The lion cannot hunt a single zebra down in a herd unless they can identify it. Because they have to organize their hunt around. You can't hunt a blood of zebras, and that's what we call vision. That's what we call vision. Unless you have a clear vision, you can't eat juicy zebra. And the same thing is told in the habit 3rd and 7th, that is putting first thing first and sharpen the saw. Last but not least, 1 second, please. Last but not least, ending with outcomes. What are the outcomes I think are possible? I would say of all the discussion we have already explained the outcomes, isn't it? So the Covey's book explained the difference between personality and character. Listen carefully. How profound the changes will be. If you change your character rather than your personality. If lion is the king of jungle, think about it. If lion is the king of jungle, tell me how he can be the king of jungle. He is not the biggest. The elephant is probably one of the biggest. He can't be the fastest because that's a cheetah. He can't be the smartest. So he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does a lion become the king of jungle? His character, his mentality. And that's the only difference. When an elephant sees a lion, he would probably think of just to move away. But when a lion sees an elephant, he think of a lunch. That's what I'm saying. This book builds character. To be honest, this book is all-round development book. I read it twice, and I'm telling you, if you want to become one of the highly effective people, this is what you are missing out. Thank you. Thank you for giving your precious time. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Nikhil. Next, we have Janhavi. Next, we have Sakshi Shagun with us. And after Sakshi.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're not visible.
Ma'am, am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are visible and audible right now. Thank you. You may start now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jia Mukhopadhyay of class 9G. I feel extremely privileged to present my understanding on this challenging yet rewarding book that sold more than 1 million copies worldwide since its first publication, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Now, please let me show my presentation. Our behavior is the function of our decision and not our condition. To start with the theme, which also answers the question, why do I find this book worth reading? The book is set on a quest to discovery for the readers to unleash their untapped potential and follow the path least traveled to reach success. It's a journey of spiritual renewal and reaching our goals by overcoming all odds.
We all want success in our life, and the book surely helps us with it. Empower your own effectivity in achieving your goals. Now, I will take you through the details of 7 habits which can be instrumental in bringing a positive change in our life. At first, to name the 7 habits, be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first thing first, think win-win, seek first to understand, synergize, sharpen the saw. Habits 1, 2, and 3 are focused on self-control and moving from dependence to independence. These are to be practiced by oneself, which can make us independent in every way. Habit 4, 5, and 6 are focused on developing teamwork, collaboration, and communication skill, moving from independence to interdependence. That means it confers to the point that man is a social animal and we need each other to attain success. Is basically united we stand, divided we fall. Habit 7, which is nonetheless important, deals with our continuous growth process. Now we see the overview of the 7 habits. Then we move to the first habit, be proactive. Being proactive means creating or controlling a situation rather than just responding to it after it has happened. This distinguishes us from the other animal. Now we see the difference between proactive people and reactive people. Proactive people are driven by carefully considered selective values, and reactive people are driven by feelings, circumstances, condition, and environment. We can see the examples given below. Now we move to end in mind. Through imagination, we can visualize the uncreated world of potential that lies within us. These are the lines said by Stephen R. Covey. Start with a clear destination, with a vision, what we want to become. Break down different roles in your life. Define what scares you. Visualize how to handle the situation. Thus, we can win over every difficult situation. Then we move to the third habit, put first thing first. In order to manage ourselves effectively, we must have to discipline to prioritize our day-to-day action. As we can see 2 quotations by Stephen Covey in our screen, the challenge is not to manage time, but to manage ourselves. And the second one is, the key is not to prioritize what is in your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Now we move to the fourth habit, think win-win. Win-win sees life as a cooperative, not a competitive arena, said by Stephen R. Covey. In order to establish effective interdependent relationship, we must commit to create win-win situations that are mutually beneficial and satisfying for all. To go for win-win, you not only have to be nice, but also have to be courageous. Then we move to the fifth habit, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Here comes the most importance of our listening skill. And as we are slowly losing our patience, we really need to focus on this one. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. If you want to improve your interpersonal relations, Covey argues that you must endeavor to understand a situation before attempting to make yourself understood. The ability to communicate clearly is essential for overall effectiveness, as it's the most important skill you can train. While you spend years learning to read, write, speak, Covey states that little focus is given to training of the skill of listening. Then we move to the sixth habit, synergize. Once people have experienced real synergy, they are never quite the same again. We all are different. We need to value these differences and respect each other. There only we can build strength. As we know, unity is strength. Then we move to the sharpen the saw. An increasingly educated conscience will propel us along the path of personal freedom, security, wisdom, and power. To be effective, we must devote time to renew ourselves physically, spiritually, and mentally. To summarize in a nutshell, we can again emphasize on the key take-home of this book, which is our behavior is the function of our decision and not our condition. And our entire life is a quest for unleash and utilize our potential to empower ourselves and to achieve the goal. This can be also said the takeaways of the 7 habits. Then we move to the importance of reading this book. This book, 7 Habits, teaches us how to change our perception in order to change ourselves and the way we see the world. Readers gain hands-on experiences, applying timeless principles that yield greater productivity, improved communication, strong relationships, increased influence, and focus on critical problems. Now we go to the question, how can the 7 habits be inculcated in us? Going through this book is a journey which helps us to inculcate in ourselves that our life is set on a quest for self-discovery to unleash the untapped potential and follow the path least traveled to reach success, overcoming all the odds. Then at last, I would like to share my personal story with where I actually put the 7 habits in use and got success, if not totally, but to some extent. Well, I was a language in charge of my class in class 7. I took the initiative to speak in English in class.
Okay. Now we move on to our last participant, that is Ashmita. Ashmita, are you ready?
Audible and visible?
Yes, Ashmita. So you can start now.
1 second, please. Good morning, everybody. I feel privileged to be among you all to present my opinions on the review of the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, penned by Dr. Stephen R. Covey. Stephen Covey's life and work. He was born on October 24, 1932 and died on July 16, 2012. His occupation was author, professional, speaker, professor, consultant, and management expert. Stephen Richards Covey's most popular book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. His other books include First Things First, Principle-Centered Leadership, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families, The 8th Habit, and The Leader in Me, how schools and parents around the world are inspiring greatness one child at a time. In 1996, Time magazine named him one of the 25 most influential people. Coming back to the 7 habits of highly effective people, this book embodies the fundamental principles of human effectiveness needed in the long run of our lives. This book contains the kind of penetrating truth that is usually found in fiction. At the end, you will feel that not only you know Covey, but also that he knows you. This book has sold more than 30 million copies worldwide since its first publication in 1989. The audio version became the first non-fiction audiobook in US, publishing history to sell more than 1 million copies. Covey argues against what he calls the personality ethic, something he sees as prevalent in many modern self-help books. He promotes what he labels the character ethic, aligning one's values with so-called universal and timeless principles. Covey adamantly refuses to conflate principles and values. He sees principles as external natural laws, while values remain internal and subjective. Covey proclaims that values govern people's behavior, but principles ultimately determine the consequences. Covey presents his teachings in a series of habits manifesting as a progression from dependence via independence to interdependence. Habit number 1, be proactive. This habit is based on the principle of avoiding the attitude of procrastination. Habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. We should always proceed with any work thinking of its consequences. Hope for the best and be prepared for the worst. The very meaning of this sentence defines the essentiality of second habit. Habit number 3, put first things first. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Habit number 1, 2, and 3 are focused on self-mastery and moving from dependence to independence. Habit number 4, think win-win. Here, I must quote the words of Emily Bronte. She says, "A man is a man because of others. His identity, dignity can never be established in isolation. It's because we are social beings." Habit number 5, seek first to understand and then to be understood. This habit reflects the idea of being a good listener before being a good speaker. Habit number 6, synergize. This habit makes you work well in groups, value the strength of others, and knowing that as a team, we can get more done than we could do alone. Habit number 7, sharpen the saw. Stephen R. Covey says that sharpening the saw means preserving and enhancing the greatest asset you have, it is you. Habit 7 is focused on continuous growth and improvement. Now, Stephen Covey's character traits of the most effective people and a way how they became effective. They make commitments and they keep their promises. They admit their mistakes quickly and to everyone. They know there is a space between an action and a reaction. They have control over the emotions and don't get overcome by them. They value time and understand that success is just being yourself in an organized way. Most importantly, they are willing to do what other people won't to achieve what other people can't. I find this book worth reading because it instills in me a change of emotions, a way to recognize myself and to know where I stand and where I aim to stand. What I took away from this book is keep going, keep trying every single day. You're already making waves, moving mountains, and becoming who you're meant to be. It all starts with showing up for you, trusting you, and believing in you. At the end, I would like to sum up myself with the quote spoken by Amy Carmichael. We will have eternities to celebrate the victories, but only a few hours before sunset to win them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashmita. So with that, we come to the end of our participant list, and we actually are have conducted all the 12 participants have said. Now, before moving to the results, I would like to request our honorable judges to share their views and how they liked and give their valuable words and suggestions to our participants as well as
judge number 1. But first, it is my request to all the judges, honorable judges, please send through the judgment through my WhatsApp. Ananya, Amitabh, Dr. Amitabh Samanta sir is there, and he will address after the judge also. He will give the blessings. He is the guest of honor today. Madam was the chief guest. Okay.
Yes.
So please give the time. So judge number 1.
Yes. Valuable views and suggestions with us. Sir, please.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ananya, ma'am. Am I audible and visible both?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So first, thanks to Honorable Principal Ashok sir, Madam Urmila ma'am, and people, intellectual peoples, and the entire galaxy. So thank you for inviting me as a judge over here. I have listened all the students, and all the students have given their 100%. That's a good thing. And their communication skill, whatever I have judged, it was very nice. And the content, presentations, relevance of ideas, and coherence, all these things is very nice. So as far as the book review is concerned, I have listened all the participants, and all the participants focused on the content, whatever the habits, 7 habits of highly effective people, which is written by Stephen R. Covey. That is a very good. And every student incorporated the 7 habits, how the 7 habits is an important for a people. They have elaborated properly. And when I go with the 7 habits, the first one is be proactive. That means you must be responsible for your work, and अनुकूल परिस्थिति अगर आपकी against the adverse conditions में भी अपने आप को आप कैसे stable रखते हैं, that is a good habit. So Stephen Covey said that if you are active and if you know self-awareness, if you have, definitely you will achieve the right things in your life. So you must be responsible for your own self, where you want to drive yourself in the right direction. So that is very good. And all students, whatever I have listened, the 12 participants, they are giving very, very good thoughts on this particular habits. The second thing is whatever begin with end in mind. That is very good. Always, if you're going to be a start, you must have the clear destination where you want to go and what you want to achieve, and whatever the objective in your life and how you are going to be managed with. That is the words I am using in the management, MBO, management by objectives. If you want to achieve the objective, you want to achieve the success, if you want to develop yourself, you have to manage your resources according to the objective, whatever you have decided. So that is a very good thing. I have listened all these students, everyone has the clear concept about the second habits, which were given by Stephen R. Covey. That is very good things. The third one, whatever, that is put first things first, means you have to prioritize on your work. That means you have to focus on your priority. If you are not going with the plan, that means you are going to be failure in your life. So you have to prioritize, you have to go with the proper plan and try to make the plan with the resources. You have to correlate. If you are making the plan and that plan is going to be achieved or not, it is depends upon how you are going to be coordinating all the resources which are required for achieving the plan. So it's my suggestions. You have to make the proper resources, you have to organize it, and then you have to go with put first thing first. You have to prioritize your work. The fourth, whatever I have listened to, the 12 participants, they all are giving very good ideas and very good thoughts on that. Things win-win. That means the cooperations and हम भी जीते, दूसरे भी जीते, right? एक हम भी आगे बढ़े तो आप भी आगे बढ़े. Such type of the mindset if you have in the team, teamwork is very important. And if you go with the teamwork, definitely you become a good leader. So that is the good thing. Seek first to understand, then to understood. That means emphatic listening. As a good listener, I am telling you fact. This is a fact. If you want to become a good speaker, if you want to become a good leader, you must be develop the listening skill among yourself. The right said by Stephen Covey, you must be a good emphatic listening attitudes. दूसरे सुने, उसे समझें, फिर अपना समझ उसे बताएं और accordingly आप organizations को आगे ले जा सकते हैं. So for that, emphatic listening is very important. That is very good. Synergy, teamwork. That means आप किसी plant को देखिए, उसके root को देखिए, everyone, these are the coordinated with each other and they are supporting to each other. And if you are the supporting attitude, definitely you become a good leader and you become a successful person in your life. So sharpen the saw, that is very good things. That means self-renewal, value addition, physical, mental, and spiritual skills you have to develop. If you are coordinating all these things, definitely you become the success people in your life. So far, I have listened all the students. All the students have given 100%, but जीतना तो किसी एक दो को ही होता है. तो others people's, other participants don't be feel मैं जीत नहीं पाया, but everyone has done well here. Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me as a judge. I have sent the result on your WhatsApp. Thank you once again to Principal Sir, Yaro ma'am, Ananya ma'am, and all the people, those who are joined here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was, we are really honored to have you here as our judge, and it was really good to hear you sharing your views, and obviously you again explained it in a very nice way, and it was really good for all of us, including the participants as well as the teachers, to learn to ponder more on that, on the 7 habits. Thank you very much, sir. Next, we have with us Honorable Mrs. Kiran Yadav, ma'am, Principal, Tata DAV Public School, Ghato. Ma'am is, as sir always says, as sir, ma'am is always there to help us and to guide us. Ma'am, I request you to please share your views and your ideas, how you liked the competition, and please motivate us participants. Ma'am, please.
Sure. Okay, sure, Ananya. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm honored, ma'am.
Just a formal way, I would start and then I would come to the performance of students. Lovely performance. Actually, the synergy is here, where the team has worked so well under the leadership of all the Department of English and of course, the beacon in the hand of Mr. Ashok Kumar, Principal. First, I would like to pay my regards to Honorable Dr. Urmila Singh, ma'am, Assistant Regional Officer Jharkhand Zone D, who has always been very supporting, very motivating, and very inspiring. And that is why the team under the DAV Hazaribagh team can see the vision of such kind of versatility bringing to the classroom. I would also like to pay my regards to Professor Amitabh Samanta sir from Vinoba Bhave University, Dr. Saroj Ranjan sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, Vinoba Bhave University. I would like to also mention the presence of Mr. Manoj Mishra, Manager, DAV Public School, Hazaribagh. Since our personal acquaintance is also there and such kind of gathering, he is a good orator. So I would also like to pay regards to him to here, more as colleague and more from maybe Ashok sir would be giving as manager. I like him as a colleague who always is at the time of need, he is helping. I would like to thank Mr. Ashok Kumar sir, who has given such kind of platform. Really, I'm overwhelmed. Means this was a learning rather. This was not judging the students. This was learning. So nicely the students are speaking. So confidently the students are speaking. So my regards to Ashok Kumar sir. And then co-judge Mr. K.K. Singh, Principal DAV, Devghar. With regards and thanks to everyone, I would come to the topic of today. The 7 habits of most effective people. This effectivity, how does it come? How does it come to one personality? When it is admission of ignorance, Madam has also said in the beginning that these are all the life skills. When CC had come, we were always putting so much emphasis on life skills. And the life skills, again, the very first is self-awareness. यदि मेरे को पता है कि हम कहाँ खड़े हैं तो मुझे पता ये अच्छी तरह से पता होगा कि चलना है या जंप यहाँ से लगा सकते हैं. What is the platform speaking of? Whether this can be a jumping platform or this is the platform where we have to first put our foot with a confident and firmer steps. So admission of ignorance is the very first step of education. Self-awareness. Why this book has been brought to you and given to you for review, this initiation of reading that has motivated and given shape to all the book lovers. This is actually what is there in DAV Hazaribagh. They are giving such kind of platform, the platform where the book lovers are getting their mind speaking. And when we share such kind of minds, you know, sharing is the best way of learning. So the reading club of DAV Hazaribagh, good initiative. And you have given such opportunity to the students where without the wear and tear of the writers, without any wear and tear of the writers, we are gaining. So the experience we are having, how to become most effective people. And so many are there. And one among those, one can be from DAV Hazaribagh, one can be from DAV Bharejnagar, from DAV Ghato, and DAV Bardakha. So this is actually what the students are given with the help of Hazaribagh. Now, what is the objective? What is the objective of making the students read this book? And why it is about making leaders? See, the world speaks of leaders, and India particularly, I feel, we need life-ready leaders. And this book is a very good construction manual I would say it is a construction manual. It is making the readers know how we can be good leaders. And I, being a teacher, I am putting focus on how I can make my students leaders. So the classroom, where from we can take the students directly to parliament. Dear children, don't take it otherwise. Really, India needs good parliamentarian and good speakers and good workers. So tapping the potential leaders in the classroom and making them have join the classroom to parliament. India needs such kind of leaders. I would like to quote here the words of T.S. Eliot. Cease not from exploration. And once I can see inside. So Pablo Neruda's poem in Standard 12, Keeping Quiet, introspection. Once introspection is done, one can very easily realize what is there, what needs to be brought in. So be very seven habits. I would not speak much on that. I would just speak on the gist of it. And 1-2 things, those are very, very relevant. And I particularly may be feeling that it is more relevant. I would speak on those. So the very first is be proactive. So when you are self-aware, when we are self-aware, we know that how this thing is to be reacted on, whether we want to act on something or we want to be acted upon. This is actually the attitude of the leader. The leader has to know whether I should lend my ears first or I should speak first. So those all the things are very lightly amalgamation, good amalgamation is there. And what let thy be your lamp. Appa Deepo Bhava, Apna Deepak Khud Bane. Swami Vivekananda has also said that you are the creator of your own destiny. So when we are the creator, we need to design our own career, our own prospect, our future. And when we are designing our future, knowing that Deepak to mujhe banna hai. Jab mujhe Deepak banna hai, to mujhe react kaise karna hai. Proactive people, they are getting the stimulus and the response. We should never have the response according to the object. Be subjective in that case. And who is the subject here? One who has been trained in the classroom with characters and values, with the parent sanskars, all Naitik values. So there what works more is standing very firmly, becoming proactive, because I do not react to the stimulus given. I as a student, I as a leader, I as a teacher react according to my sanskar, my values and my learning. And that has come at the end of this also, where synergy has been picturized nicely, how we can start it with making the personal image to public image when we are physically very fit, when our public image is good, when cognitively I am very strong, then obviously the social image will be good. And the social image is the team working well. The saga I would like to again mention, I remember when the induction of principals was in Delhi, and the president, Dr. Poonam Suri, R. Yatn Padam Shuri, President DAV College Managing Committee, Dr. Poonam Suri, he was addressing us. And he also said about pursuit management. He spoke that we need to know, I'm sitting at this side of the table, I might be sitting some other day on that side of the table. So I should always see the others. And teamwork can be only when we know how my team takes me as one of the leaders or as one among those or the leaders sitting alone. So synergy with the leader's vision, teachers working in the class and then giving the result in the form of creating the citizen who is a wholesome personality. And DAV is always creating wholesome personality. DAV itself is having in tune, in the system, in the curriculum, in the classroom, creating leaders. Again, I would like to quote Dr. Poonam Shuri, who says that saga of excellence is not written in one single day. Saga of excellence is not written in one single day. It is actually as practice makes a person perfect. It's accumulation of everyday work. So we must think of personal attributes, personal image, personal quality making the team's quality. I would like to mention what Samiparna, I guess, if I'm not wrong, Samiparna said about ownership. This is lovely. What an understanding, Samiparna. Means once you have ये school मेरा है, यहाँ के teachers मेरे हैं, यहाँ का image मेरा है, things are done. So this ownership, the feeling of oneness, the feeling of belongingness, that is making a leader, because all those volunteers outside, they are the ambassadors of DAV. So make yourself a very good ambassador, and these personal attributes of yourself, when self-mastery is there. This journey of the 7 habits of most effective people speaks about dependence and independence, and then it is interdependence. That is actually the excellent thing. When we are working in team, win-win situation, Ashok Kumar sir said it's not a game where a player is losing or winning. But sometimes if I can show you the other picture, actually if the team is winning, it is also winning because of so many players working there together. So togetherness always, that is bringing unity, strength, everyone knows. So this dependence to independence to interdependence is actually converting paradigm shift from personal image to public image. When we have this public image, then we can very easily make one realize, I'm there for you, I'm there for the society. And this social image, to bring the society above, to bring the society as per the need of the country, that is the role of us all. Now, one more point I would like to mention from here only, that is goal setting from this book only. The journey, when we speak about a journey with obstacles, the goal setting, prioritizing, making the end in the mind very clear, short term or long term, then only the focus is more, and then the success rate is maximum, output is maximum. Again, Vivekananda has said, I would like to quote here, obstacles on the road, who knows, who sees, who is not focused. So if my focus is there, my vision is clear, I'm working to transform that vision into reality, then I am not going to see the obstacles coming in the path, and the obstacles are not there. I'm there to convert every stumbling stone to the stepping stone. Dear children, you have that arc, you have that spirit, the fire in the belly, that's there. If you remember that story, that Arjuna, the art of archery was being taught to the students, and the teacher, the sage, he asked one student, what do you see? Someone said trees, someone said birds, someone said this, and none was allowed to target. The moment Arjuna said that I see the eye of the bird only, and then Dronacharya said, yes, you can target that. So this is because one's focus is very clear, goal is clear, and sometimes we are finding standard 11, 12 students are coming and saying, I'm not very clear about the future. We, the teachers, are there as guides. So feel free to talk to us. We are there to convert your self-mastery to make your career, make you a successful person in the society. Have the desire to learn, and then try to convert that learning to bring success at your doorstep. Success is always knocking at your doorstep. Now we are sometime late, we listen for some time, and lending ears to great personality, lending ears to the assembly activities when we are in the school. You see, assembly is the best platform for, last 1 year only we do not have. Otherwise, that is a learning platform for we, the teachers, the staff room. And the students, that's the place where the team works. You are not standard 11, you are not 12, you are not 9. There you are the students of DAV, students of DAV Hazaribagh, or the students of DAV. Everything goes together. Means all these given here, the journey of success that is mentioned in the 7 habits of most effective people. Urmila ma'am just now said, and that has been referred also. This is nothing new. These are the natural law. Actually, the people, those who are working well with all these things, they are achieving success in life. So this synergy of physical, spiritual, cognitive, and social attributes learning that makes you. These all make you come out identity crisis. You see, at the time of personal crisis, at the time of identity crisis, what helps? Character. If you have the character, if you have the values, that can speak eloquently. That has been referred here also. Character speaks eloquently, particularly at the time of identity crisis. It depends how have you conditioned yourself, whether you have conditioned yourself, I can't do or I can do. It's up to you. The story of elephant and Mahat, known to everyone. In the beginning, what happened? Elephants are tied with big, strong iron chain. An elephant tries again and again to come out for its emancipation, but it cannot. And later the Mahat uses a very thin rope and a stake, and the elephant remains tied because what has been conditioned there, that I cannot come out of this binding. So this self-renewal, life skills, what is Madam also referred in the beginning, unlearning and then relearning. If I need to upscale myself, I need to reskill myself. And if I need to reskill myself, garbage in and garbage out. The principle of Jaigo. This is the computer principle is there. If you're putting in garbage, garbage will be out. So the positivity in the mind, again, Nazim Edgekill's words are there. So as you show you reap, I would say in the words of Nazim Edgekill actually, if you sow a thought, you reap habit. If you sow a habit, you reap action. If you sow action, you reap character. And if you sow character, you reap success. So the character speaks very, very eloquently, and that will be made by you. Sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. So character, again, one very important picture I have taken from this, that is about character ethics and personality ethics. Character ethics and personality ethics. Now, character ethics, it speaks about making a public image. So now the time has changed. And in the present scenario, Stephen R. Covey is saying that what is important is personality ethics. And this personality ethics is what you can do for the society as a social image. So my dear children, I would request, don't procrastinate, as Janvi said. Procrastination, she referred somewhere in her speech. Don't give up. School has provided the field. Seed is shown. Fly in the sky. Rewire the brain. Ready, get, set, and go with all these learnings. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Outstanding. Very good.
Every bit of it meant so much, ma'am, and it was truly inspirational. And I hope every one of us had to get something from it, as always. You're always inspirational, ma'am. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Next, I would like to move on to our very own and loving Honorable Mr. K.K. Singh, sir, Principal, Geeta Devi DAV Public School, Deoghar. Sir, you are always very close to us, and you have personally guided us all, be it in our language or in our syllabus. So please, sir, please.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Yeah.
If I am not clearly visible, that will do, but I should be at least clearly audible.
You are visible also, sir.
Madam Ananya, first of all, let me congratulate you to conclude this program so beautifully with your utter pains that you people have taken as a team. And I feel really very privileged to be amongst you once again in the team of DAV Hazaribagh. Let me take a moment just to address as a formality the chief guest of this book review, The Seventh Habit of Highly Effective People, Honorable Dr. Urmila Singh, Assistant Regional Officer. DAV Public School, Jharkhand Zone D. Then Dr. Amitav Samanta. I think he is the father of Kamalika Samanta, perhaps the star student of our school. Yes, she was the star student, and we had a lot of blessings of Dr. Amitav Samanta while I was in Hazaribagh. I know him personally, and his learning, his deep insight. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. I'd request the participants, all other people, to please switch off mute your mic. So please continue.
5 to 10 minutes more. 5 to 10 minutes more, students. You please switch up or mute your mobile. Yes.
Yes, I will go. I'll go. I have decided to go very short and crisp. So don't worry. I'll not be taking too much time and just making the speech. I'm not habituated of it. Sri M.K. Misra, sir, the principal of DAV Public School, Agdasen, Bharachnagar. And Professor Saroj Ranjan, sir, I know him personally also quite many times. I have seen him, and I had coordinated the programs in his insight had been for the students of DAV Hazaribagh. Mrs. Kiran Yadav, ma'am, the dynamic principal of DAV Public School, Ghatotad. And how can I forget to mention Sri Ashok Kumar, sir, who is always vibrant, young, energetic, still even at the stage of life. And he is a visionary man. I must say that he is the navigator of that school, and he has steered very well even in this very delicate time, hard time of turbulence in this age of pandemic. And he went on organizing one after the other program. I remained in touch with other teachers of that school, and I found that students were not left even a moment free. Rather, they were kept engaged. This is the strategy of keeping them fit and fine. So thank you, sir, for giving me the platform and considering me worth to be the judge. Thank you so much. And learned faculty of DAV Hazaribagh and scholarly students. I must appreciate all of you, the way you people presented the topic. This was a book review session on the seven habits of highly effective people by Stephen R. Covey. I went through the book on the inspiration of, after receiving the inspiration from Sri Ashok Kumar sir, and I went through it and I found it was amazing, really beautiful. Before this, I was not in deep understanding of the book, but when I had to be the judge, so I went through it deeply, and I found that it is going to make a complete change in my mindset, in my mental faculty. Let me tell you, the students, that this was the book review session, and there are some certain things that you had to bear in your mind. You had to bear that just after giving a very brief summary of what the book is all about, you had to go about citing some relevant examples from your day-to-day life. You had to link it. That some of you couldn't. However, I would like to make a special mention of the oratory of Miss Samiparna Chatterjee and Nikhil Sahu, Sweksha Misra, and others were terrific as well. But Nikhil, you went a bit more while you were describing the thing about zebra. You shouldn't have gone that long. You took much time in that. And Samiparna, you were excellent. Your presentation was nice. And especially Sweksha, she was also terrific. You people have the art of oratory, and you also gave a kind of impression that you people have gone through the book, not on a surface form, but extensive reading of the book has been done by you people, exhaustive study of the book. So other participants, all of you did well. All of you are marvelous, outstanding and amazing. But you know, there is no best which can't be bettered. And you have got a very good school where you are nurtured, where you are getting guidance from the teachers. Principal himself is sweating blood bucket day and night with you. So you reap the benefit of the galaxy of the teachers and even the navigator of that school, Sri Ashok Kumar sir, the principal of the school. You should have cited some examples, as Mrs. Kiran Yadav ma'am, the principal said, when you were talking about begin with the end in mind, you should have talked about as Arjuna was just fixing his mind on what he was seeing, while the others were saying about this and that. That way, you should have make it relevant, linked it with one another. Secondly, when you are talking about spiritual development, win-win, when you were talking about think win-win, you should have also talked about how our Arya Samaj, 10 tenets of Arya Samaj says, the sixth one says that we should not just be, ninth tenet of Arya Samaj, that we should not be satisfied with the progress of our own, rather than we should be happy and contented in the progress of others. That is the thing that is told in the win-win situation. We should not be thinking about our own self only. So this is not the ground of competition, rather this should be the ground of cooperation. When you cooperate with others, they will win and you will also win along with that. I cited just a few examples. And for example, when you were talking about the seventh habit, that is sharpen the saw. You know, sharpen the saw is just a metaphoric use here. The literal meaning is not the saw is being talked about. Here the metaphoric sense is saw refers to our mental ability, physical ability, and spiritual ability, and emotional ability, emotional quotient, intelligence. So when you were talking about, you should have also made a link of Arya Samaj sixth tenet that says, संसार का उपकार करना इस समाज का मुख्य उद्देश्य अर्थात शारीरिक, आत्मिक और सामाजिक उन्नति करना. These things were already there in our habit. And Stephen Covey has not invented anything for your information. He had just discovered what the people had already in them. So he studied more than 3,000 people, as Principal Ashok sir said, and he took about 25 long years for doing this. And then he just made a list of all these things in a proper sequence. And in this proper sequence, if you're talking about being proactive, if I am to say, this was a book review and you should have focused on what habit was the best according to you. What you could conclude about saying that I am of the opinion, if you are proactive, you can bring about a complete change, because the inside out change comes from the character ethics, and from character ethics, you can change your personality ethics. When your character is good, and personality just the external exposure, external manifestation of what you are from inside. Okay, so you should have focused all these things. I wouldn't be taking much time. We people are already running out of time. So thanks once again to Sri Ashok Kumar sir, principal of the school, for giving me the platform and making me the judge. If I was worth, I consider myself very fortunate. Thank you so much. I am privileged being with you all once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. The way you explained it will definitely help all the participants as well as all the students who are witnessing, and us as well. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Now, last but not the least, we have with us Mr. Amitav Samanta, Finance Officer, Vinoba Bhave University.
Point is your self renewal, and in self renewal, first you have to think about yourself, the students, that is your own body. And regarding this body, our spiritual thing, our Indian culture, and our practices of our spiritualism and metaphysics, and you have to purify yourself. Then you can think, we are not talking about only responsibility. We are talking about responsiveness, because our principal, Ashokji, is responsive principal. And in this pandemic, he had already arranged this thing, that how many schools they are arranging this type of book reviewing system. So that is my request, that I have also given the scorecards, and especially Samiparna Chatterjee, whatever she had told. And one thing, Jia Mukhopadhyay and Asmita Priyam, they have given it in slide presentation. So it is my request to the speakers that they must, whenever they are in a position, because it has been given it in advance, that what shall be the talk, and you must present it in your slide presentation. Because what shall be the problem? Because when the future course of action, principal will interact with a big size of population, then their preparation of slide presentation will be the core database for presenting the unique order of your 7 habits. And this is my request, that you please present it in slide presentation, and it will be one effective model to follow it. So first one was your be proactive. Second one was begin with end in mind. End in mind means we are talking about this moment. Zero-based management we used to talk. I am the finance officer of Vinoba Bhave University, and we are 3 members, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, myself, and the registrar. So what we do, that when we don't have any pre-assigned job. Whatever is there in the table, we just finish it up. But when we used to prioritize my payment, first I pay the pension and then I pay the salary of all the staffs. So as a student, as a manager, you have to prioritize that at this moment, what I have to do. And the best management system is zero-based management. And it is the call of the time. And you please think about the time management, which has already been discussed here. Because Mr. Saroj Ranjan is there, in management system, we are talking about the saving of time, means saving of money. So you have to save the time. For a student, you have to prepare a routine, your personal routine and your school routine. And at this pandemic situation, we can understand that what you are thinking for your future career, it is not possible due to the absence of your classes. So that is also one of them. Next is your first out, put first in first. What is your priority? For a student, for a manager, for an administrator. So this is the thing. And with this word, I especially thank all the students and our administrators and who have arranged all this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was really very informative, and the things that you have said today, I hope the students will definitely remember this and use this in their life in future. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Now we will move on to the result announcement. Before declaring the result, I would like to congratulate all the participants for participating and basically to reading the book. This is by Reading Club, and we are really happy that the students have really gone through the book. They have read the book, and as you have read this book, it will give you a long-term benefit, and you are already a winner because you have read this book. So now, without taking much time, I'd like to hand over the mic to the most proactive navigator of this flagship of knowledge. The brainchild of this was of our principal, sir, and it is our beloved principal, sir, who is going to announce the results. So can you please do the honor?
Thank you. Thank you, Ananya.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Ananya. And once again, I express my sincere thanks to Reading Club of this school. Excellent. Every year, just you are conducting this kind of book review, and every year there is just enthusiasm, proactive approach, or so many synergies, so many teamwork. So I'm very thankful to all the department of DAV Hazaribagh and teachers, especially faculty. I express once again my sincere thanks to all the judges and honorable judges, and particularly all the judges they have expressed. But everybody has given something, and Kiran Yadav, you have taken the time, but one day I will arrange 11th and 12th classes also, so that you can interact with them, and they are very fond of KK Singh also, Saroj Ranjan sir also, and just you got the blessing from Samanta sir. But first, once again, I express my sincere thanks to most dynamic ARO madam, who is always motivating us, inspiring us throughout the day, and most dynamic manager of this school, Manoj Misra sir. Always he is ready and just cooperate, not only as manager, but you are waiting the result, and now the result is here. So let me, everybody will be felicitated. So fourth rule, that is the thing win-win. So everybody is winner. 12 students we selected and they all are winner. So all will be given the certificates and prizes also. But the best 5, first, second, third, fourth, fifth will be felicitated with a special memento and prizes. So after reopening of the schools, our honorable guests and judges will also be, felicitated, will organize the function, a very small function, and our honorable judges with memento or prize, they will also, because they have given something extraordinary thing today, and my students are very excited to learn or something. So next time I will arrange. Now come to the point, and that is the most awaited. So I have gone through the judges, some other students, ex-students, 2 persons from IIM Ahmedabad, 3 persons from IIM Bangalore. They have given the judgment and they have also said about that. So at a time, 7 persons were judges, including me also. And that is the judgment is more or less same. That is the excellent. 7 persons outside and 3 judges, honorable judges. So 10 persons has gone through and judgment is more or less same. So let me first start. Zia Mukhopadhyay for becoming the 3rd position holder. Congratulations, Zia Mukhopadhyay. And just you have obtained very new girl, 45 marks. Zia Mukhopadhyay and 9th class girl, 9G girl, brilliant. So that is the 3rd position. And 2nd position, just you have given, the judges have given, and just after totaling the marks, Nikhil Kumar Sahu and Sweksha Misra has got the 2nd positions by obtaining 48 and 48 marks. So 2nd positions, Nikhil Kumar Sahu and Sweksha Misra, the first time you have got the 2nd position. So congratulations to you, brilliant performance. You have obtained 48. Now guess who is the first? Everybody, you might be knowing about that. And all the judgment almost more or less they have given. And that is the something you please guess. Shamiparna Chatterjee got the 1st position, obtaining 51 marks. 48 second, 51 first, neck to neck, and 45 third. You see about that. Asmita Priyam got the 1st position, that is the Shamiparna 51. So Kiran Misra already, just mentioned the name also. One of the honorable judges also mentioned the name of, the ownership. So that is something like that. Madam, she has participated, Sweksha Misra and Shamiparna in national level debate. And you will be very happy about that. Ki Shamiparna out of 6, 4 in 4 competitions, she is the winner. Am I right, Mr. Manoj Khandelwal, our coordinator? So 4 in the national level competitions, she is winner. So I'm very thankful and congratulations to them. And 5th position, Asmita Priyam will also be felicitated, and that is the 4th position, 44. And 5th position, that is the Tanisha Sinha. They will be given 4th and 5th consolation prizes. So with these words, I express my sincere thanks to all of you, and especially my dear students. You have just like you have learned so many things with these blessings or given by our ARO madam, our honorable judges, Professor sir, Shamanta sir, and something like that. Now, I would like to request Mr. Manoj Khandelwal or Ananya, please call coordinator to brief and give the vote of thanks in short.
Yes, sir. Before coming to the end of this mesmerizing session on DAV Public School, Hazaribagh, I would like to call Manoj Khandelwal, sir, our coordinator for the school as well as for this program, to please propose the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. After this fabulous show today, we all would have learned a lot. We at DAV Hazaribagh have been planning events online, offline, throughout for the two.
इसमें काम नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
Two more book reviews we have already planned. I hope we will be doing better than this, and many more students will be participating. But when I have given the privilege to propose the vote of thanks, let me first of all give thanks, heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Dr. Mrs. Urmila Singh, ARO DAV Public Schools, Jharkhand Zone D, who graced the occasion as the chief guest and has always been a motivating force for all of us. Secondly, let me express my thanks to Honorable Dr. Professor Amitabh Samant sir, who has a long association with the school and has been a well-wisher of our institution. Then let me thanks our manager, Honorable Sri M.K. Mishra sir, who was there present in the beginning and whose blessings have always been with us whenever we organize some or the other event. Then let me take the privilege to thank all the three learned judges who have assessed the performance of our students in a very beautiful way and have given valuable feedback which surely would be helpful for them to improve in the coming events. Let me take the names of the judges: Professor Saroj Ranjan sir, Honorable Mrs. Devi Ghato, and Honorable Mr. K.K. Singh, Principal Geeta Devi, DAV Public School, Devghar. And then let me now express my sincere thanks to the man behind the show, whose proactivity has been the guiding force in the organization of such events. He is an inspiration for one and all. And if he won't have thought about this, we won't have gone for this book review and two more to come in the future. Future days. Let me use enthusiasts who have been putting their work for last 10 days and have been working hard. Without their presentation, this event might not have been successful. Congratulations, all of you. And then let me thank the moderator for the show, the anchor for the show, Mrs. Ananya Mukhopadhyay, for a wonderful moderation, and Mr. Bharat Sir for his continuous technical support. And then let me thank all the teachers who have been a very supportive audience. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thus we come